Hello again. I thought it was about time I popped back on here. I haven't made a video for a while because I have been moving my craft room. So I finally got it all sorted up in my loft room in my house now, which means the lighting should be so much better because there's a window right above my head. And the setup is a lot better now for working and hopefully getting some books done. So I thought I'd pop on and do a little bit of a haul slash what I've been doing, because I've quite enjoyed the sort of selling side of making my books. I always find that a little bit stressful because it's kind of, somebody paying for something I've made is still doesn't sit in my head right. I've really enjoyed over the last few months actually just creating stuff and having a play without the selling part being an issue. So I have been working on some books. Nothing's completely finished. One of them's nearly finished, but I still want to play with it a little bit. I thought it was finished, but I think I might tweak it a little bit. Yeah, I've really enjoyed just having a play, and but I thought I would start off with showing you a few really cracking goodies that I got in charity shops and on eBay, because I don't I find the odd bit here and there, but in the run up to Christmas, I think people may be having clear outs and things. I've got some really lovely bits. The only thing I didn't take out was I got some old threads on the proper old wooden bobbins. So that's going to be really nice. I wanted to do stuff with them, but I've gone and put them away already. But this is a little lace haul I got on eBay, and I was a little bit terrified because sometimes you can't see properly how much. The listing had some good photos, but it didn't have very good description, so it was difficult to tell properly how much you were getting of each piece of lace. But I thought I went for it because it wasn't as expensive as some other bundles of lace, so I am delighted with what I got, because there's quite a lot on each roll, and it's a proper vintage pieces. So, and there's some that have what most, obviously it is staining, but it's the kind of thing we want for these books. So it's quite nice, and it's lots of little pieces, so I don't feel bad about putting it in my books and things. When like I'd bought bundles in the past where they've got these beautiful lace collars that are complete, and I either use that in a book completely in one piece, or there's one that I really like myself, which I'm thinking of stitching onto a denim jacket. So again, I keep it in one piece. So I don't like ripping up lace that is still complete, but these bits are all little bits and pieces that I'm quite happy I can rip up to my heart's content. So they're just so pretty and lovely, lovely colour, in that they've already aged beautifully, so I don't have to worry about dyeing anything. So I love the fact that it's all these little bits that are already. I love this one. I think there's quite a few bits of this, but this would look lovely on a page or taking out just the flower. And then this is really cute, and there's loads of this one as well with the peach and green in it. So that'd be nice as pockets. I like the deep pieces for pockets. So again, just so pretty. And this is lovely, this one. So I could take the roses out in one piece and then use the leaves, and it's going to be lovely for pockets. And there is a good amount of that one as well, because in the photos were sort of like this, in that shape, so you couldn't tell how thick the pile was. And then that is lovely little flowers again. And this is so pretty. Try and find a thin bit to show the... How pretty is that? So I'm delighted with that because I love this tulle. I think that's my favourite type of lace to use in a book. But it's the hardest one to come by. Like this kind of one is really easy to come by in most of the charity shops and things. I get sort of thicker crocheted lace like that quite often. But there's really, really fine tulle netting type ones. It's a lot harder to get. And there's some beautiful pieces in here. So this is obviously a cuff off of something. And it's just lovely. It's starting to snow / hailstone on my roof again, so hopefully that won't be too noisy. I'm going to try and learn how to edit this year on my videos so I can cut bits out, because the amount of times I have to start again if I get disturbed or one of the animals comes in, or because I've never really learned how to edit. I'm going to try and do that this year. This is lovely as well. So much bigger rolls. You can see in the photo, because it was sitting like that, I didn't realise how much I was getting of each piece. So absolutely delighted. I think I paid £40 for all of this. So really pleased with that. Because individually these pieces, there's a place I go to for lace that I have to buy individually, and I would be a lot more, for this amount of lace, I would be a lot more than £40. I just go and buy little pieces now and again. There. Oh, so pretty. And then this is lovely. It's like a bookmark. So that'll go in a journal. Exactly like that. I might put that in the journal. I've got nearly finished actually. Keep that one out. So that was lovely just on its own. And then this is lovely again. This will look lovely on a page. Again, this is a huge bundle. And it's got really pretty flowers. I quite like the green and the peach. I don't like pinks and things through my lace, but these colours I actually do like. And there's this one. And then this one. Again, this is the kind of one I would cut just one of the wee semi circles out and use that in a little cluster. Same with this one. I would use that in a cluster like that and then sort of layer it up. Oh, here comes an animal. He just feels the need to come in here and rub his face over everything. And this is where we'll see if I've learned to edit, because he knocked over everything. And again, this is another piece I would use like that and then use that as a base for building up a cluster. Again, I love that colour. This one's got individual flowers as well. Just so pretty. I'm absolutely delighted. Because my lace stash has been dwindling. This is lovely as well. This one's so soft. I'm not so keen on this, but this is quite modern, I think. I'll see if I'll be able to dye it, but it's quite shiny, so I'm not so keen on that piece. And then more of this beautiful roses. And then these are all lovely and soft. I love these really soft vintage pieces. Just so pretty. And then there's more of that one with the little flowers. And then a big bundle. And another lovely big bundle of, this one's more leaves and flowers. So I love that. And then we've got this lovely edging one, which again I would use on the edge of a page. No, you stay over there. Good boy. My cat seems to know every time I go to do a video.
It's like, right, I'm going to be a pest. So yeah, so had to share that haul. Delighted with that. I'll get that out of the way. This is another little haul I got in my charity shop. Somebody obviously had a massive bead clear out. Go on. Go on, Scoot. Thing is, he's a massive cat. He's not a dainty little cat that can sit at the edge of the video. He's a beast. And he will try and lie down and take up the whole place. I know, you're lovely. But you're just too big. You're just too big. Right, you can sit there a minute while I do the beads. But yeah, so loads of glass beads. And what I liked about these is, I don't know if you can see, but the hole through the bead is huge. Normally these little beads, the hole is so small and you need a special needle, which is a nightmare to thread. So the fact that these are glass, lovely colours, and the fact that they've got these lovely big holes down the middle, I was absolutely delighted. So I basically, it was like a big box, and I just rummaged through to find the kind of colours I would use. I don't have a lot of gold beads, so I was delighted with that one. So again, you can see how big the holes are through them, and they're glass, they're lovely. So absolutely delighted. So I got them in lots of different colours, and then I got these, which I thought were just so cute. They've got, like, they look like little piggy noses, but I thought stitched on to some lace they would be really nice. So I like them. And then there was these beads as well, which I thought were really pretty. So I think I paid about, I think it's like £6 or £7 for all of that. So again, bargain. And then the same day, I've been trying to sort of follow the videos, because I know there's a lot at the moment with the embroidery. So I would love to incorporate more embroidery into my books. So, but my embroidery thread stash is tiny. It's literally just so, there you go, flop. It's just this tiny little box. So I was starting to look at buying a few colours to do some flowers and things, but I thankfully had not got round to it, because I scored in the embroidery thread department. So I found these in the charity shop. Now somebody has you're gonna have to move, pussycat. So again, hopefully I've learned to edit and I'm back. Yeah, I scored with the embroidery. So from what I can tell from the numbers, and I googled, these are all anchor threads. The numbers on them correspond to the colours online for anchor, which is a pretty good brand. So I literally have every colour I would need for doing more embroidery incorporating more embroidery into my books. So I got those two, and then this one. So, and these are lovely. These are sort of slightly shiny. And then this one. So I got 4 boxes, and they've all been beautifully separated out into their numbers. Not that I would need the numbers for doing freehand embroidery, but if there is a colour I find myself using a lot, I'll know where to go buy more. So yeah, absolutely delighted. And I was just over £20 for all 4 boxes. So yeah, score. So yeah, so that's my little haul. The other thing I thought I would talk about is sort of what I'm working on. So I have been doing some bits and pieces away from sort of social media, and I've really enjoyed. I don't like Instagram so much anymore because the whole reel thing and the fact that it's trying to be TikTok.
it put me right off Instagram. So I do go on occasionally myself to have a look, but I don't think I'm going to use it that much. I'll see. So if you want to find me, I think this is the only place you're going to find me from now on. I don't use Facebook at all anymore. I don't go on Instagram very often, but I still like to watch my YouTube videos. So this is one that I think is pretty much finished. So this is a very pretty fluffy one. And then I've been working on, these are some spines. This is the way I tend to stitch the spines separately. So this is some lovely vintage fabric that I've just decorated. And then I got, I'm not going to remember the name of the book now. I'll try and remember to list it below, but I got this lovely book about stitching, and there's quite a few journals in the book, and there's a book that is all different layers of ribbons and sari, silk. The whole book is made like that, whereas I've done it for just the spine. So these two will be going on. So this one here, which is not finished, but what I started with this one is I started with some envelopes. I think, is it A Little Bit French? Is the YouTube channel that was making little envelope booklets inspired by Angie. And it sort of got me thinking. I sort of started making a little book where I've used all these vintage envelopes, and then I've made these little fabric envelopes and stitched them in. And I started thinking, you know, in like old movies where they've got the pile of letters that have been stored in the loft all tied up with ribbon and things. So I started imagining that the book and then the letters, I made a pile of letters, and that it would all be, I'll tie it all up like a wee pile of vintage letters. That's where this book sort of went. And then this spine will go eventually on here. And that was sort of where I'm going with this one. But again, not finished, but this will be a sort of, that's what I had in my head, was this vintage pile of letters as a journal. And then this one I had done, this started off as one journal, but it's ended up as two, in that I started using some old, again, I've seen somebody do this and I can't remember who it was, but it was some old cabinet cards where the photo was either damaged or I didn't like it. It wasn't a very nice picture. So I've used the cabinet cards and some old book covers and made some books that way and used the cabinet cards. So this one's going to be, I'm not going to use these rings. This is just to hold it all together just now. But this one is quite a lot of cabinet cards and really lovely old vintage books that I'm just decorating. It ended up becoming two journals. So I still don't know if this is going to become two full journals, or if again it'll become like a little bundle. And then this spine will go on this one eventually once I finish playing with it. And I think that's all the books. Yeah, that's all the books I've got in the making. So these will appear in my shop at some point. But like I say, I am really enjoying creating at the moment without the thought of selling, and just really enjoying what I've been doing. I've also been making, there's a YouTube channel called Wool Thread Paint, and she makes the most beautiful patterns for crochet blankets. So at the moment, I think I'm about 3 rounds from finishing it. I'm making one called the Winter Walk blanket. It's absolutely stunning. The colours are just amazing. So that's going to go on the sofa bed in my craft room, because my craft room will still be a room when we have visitors. So I have a sofa bed in here now, and this blanket is for that, because I usually have a couple of animals sleeping on it, which I do at the moment. So I'm enjoying making that. And also, like everybody else, I've got the name here so I don't forget, the K39 Cloth Tales channel. She only started a couple of months ago. I found her, I think, on her second video. loving every video, absolutely devour it. So that's another thing I've been playing. So I made the pincushion, which I think everybody's made, and discovered these pins through her channel. They are just absolutely fabulous. I've been using pins like this mainly, and I hate the way they distort the shape sometimes I'm trying to get because they're so big and long. But these tiny little pins, especially for doing the little clusters, are just brilliant. They don't distort the way the bigger pins do. So delighted with them. So yeah, had great fun making that, and the little twine base. I also made a little pouch. I was playing with dyes over Christmas. I had a pile of tea bags. I keep buying all these fancy herbal teas, and I just have to accept I only like the fruity ones. So I had turmeric based ones, which is this colour. Sorry, I got interrupted. So yeah, this is a turmeric based tea bag, and it was a little bit more yellow than I would have liked. I think I'm going to dunk it in some tea, normal tea, to tone it down a little bit. But this was another, I think it was some sort of winter blend tea, and so I was playing with dyeing some white pillowcases while I had, because my craft room was a guest room over Christmas for a couple of weeks, because I had all my kids home for Christmas, so it was lovely. So I was playing with dyeing some bits and pieces. Where did I put the different pieces that I got? So this is the kind of colours I got, using various teas that I know I'm just not going to drink. So I think these were some green teas with flavourings added, which, so I got some really nice colours I was playing with, and used it to make the little pouch, which I just had so much fun doing. And using, these are a lot of the vintage threads, which I went and got because I got interrupted there. I popped into the drawer that I'd shoved them. So yeah, I got all these lovely vintage threads. Oops. That's actually silk. It feels amazing. So delighted with these, and so I used various ones of these. I'm going to have to get a bigger box for them, to do all of the stitching. So yeah, had great fun doing that, and making the twine. Really enjoyed doing that. It's quite therapeutic. And then I made the Japanese rice bag inspired little bags. So what I've been trying to do is, I'm sort of setting myself a little challenge this year, in that I'm not allowed to buy anything new from a craft room. I'm allowed to buy things in the charity shop, but I'm not allowed to buy any new fabric or threads, or and obviously the way I'm going to get round it in my head is I'm allowed to buy stuff in the charity shop. So I've been buying fabric, clothing, because pretty much everything I make is on a very small scale. I don't need to buy big pieces of fabric. So this is made from an offcut, which I got in, there's a local fabric haberdashery type shop here where I live, and they sell off, obviously they've been making a set of curtains, and there'll be like a wee end, so they'll sell off and donate it to charity, these little pieces of fabric. So that's what that is, which I made this one out of, and then it's just lined with an old sheet. So just loving these. My daughters both want one for their makeup, so I'm going to make some bigger ones as makeup bags, but really love doing this. This one I made out of, these jeans are actually pieces of jeans that were my kids' jeans when they were little, that I've kept in a box. So I finally started ripping them up, and then the lining was a dotty shirt I got in the charity shop. So I've been going in and I bought a couple of really lovely men's shirts that the fabric is just lovely, and a lot of guys' shirts are 100% cotton, and there's some really lovely patterns. Like, I actually, I don't know if you can see, but I bought this shirt for the fabric on Vinted thinking, oh, that'd be lovely. And then when it arrived, I liked it so much, I'll be wearing it. But eventually it probably will end up as something. But yeah, I'm finding buying cotton in the charity shop, clothing wise, has been really good fun, because I'm picking up all sorts of bits I wouldn't be able to find in like a fabric shop. Plus, it's really well worn. If you thing about I've found with buying brand new fabric sometimes is that it just doesn't feel very nice, because you need to wash it a few times to really soften it up. So by using used clothes, don't look too close at my stitching, I'm not very good at this stitch along the top, but by using clothes you get this lovely feel that it's been well used and worn compared to this one. So I do like that. And this is all different fabrics from clothes. This was a dress that I recently bought and chopped up, and oh, I've got it here. So I'll show you the kind of, so I got all of this. Once you take out all the seams, basically all of this came from a sort of tunic dress sized piece of clothing. I think it was a sort of size 12. And I just love this because it's got little leaves from plants. So the colours in that are fabulous. This one was a small shirt. So when you take out, by the time you take out all the seams and cuffs and various bits that you can't really use, and I like to rip the fabric rather than cut it. So fabric will only rip, obviously, in a straight line, obviously. So you end up with smaller pieces, because by the time you rip up to a seam that then starts going round, like say for instance you're ripping up to the curve of the sleeve, you then have to stop there, and that's as big as a piece as you'll get. So I only do it in a way that I'll end up with these smaller pieces, because I'm ripping around seams and shapes and things, because I want the square bits, and without having to cut and lose that lovely ripped seam. So yeah, that was a very small shirt. This one was a very small, and that's the other thing is they're really worn. So this was a small denim shirt, but it's obviously been well used, so it's just feels lovely. It's been well washed and it just feels so nice. And then this was some of the fabric I dyed. This was a very small jacket, and it had quite a lot of lining and things, so I didn't get as much fabric out of it as I'd hoped, but I really, really like, and I had to cut that as well, but I really like that as a base. Oops, knocking things over. And then I got this was an old top of mine that I didn't wear anymore. It's linen, and the colour just didn't really suit me, but I love the colour for making bits and pieces. So I got quite a lot out of that, because it was one of these shirts that was short at the front but really long at the back. So I got these lovely big long pieces that were the back of the shirt. And then this was a guy's shirt I got, again linen, and again this will be a lovely base for layering up for collages. So yeah, that is what I've been up to. I have been playing with stock, as in finding fabric and excuse me, and yeah, making bits and pieces, but just not the selling part, but have been thoroughly enjoying myself. And it's not like I was going off making things, that's probably not the right way of putting it, but I was finding the mentality of making to sell all the time, I don't think it does affect your creativity a little bit, whereas making things for either myself or for gifts, or just playing and making some books with the view to selling them eventually, I have just really, really enjoyed that. So I thought this year I will still be selling books, and I thought I would make the odd video like this where it's not just about showcasing a book that I'm planning selling. I don't think I'll ever have the confidence to actually do tutorial type videos, but you never know. This was about as far as it gets, but I just wanted to pop on and say hello. I'm still here. I will be back. Anybody waiting for books, because I've had a few people favourite my shop over the last couple of months, and yes, that was the other thing. I wanted to say thank you. I hit 3,000 subscribers on this channel over Christmas, which is amazing considering I haven't posted anything in ages. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to anybody that's subscribed over the last, well, everybody that's subscribed, but obviously the new people that have subscribed recently, because that was just such a lovely little surprise, because I had no idea. So yes, that's me, and hopefully this video makes it out, because it's all in pieces now, so I'm gonna have to go and learn how to edit and try and put something together. If not, I will be doing this again. So thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you all soon. Bye.